Mike. Now we're getting Mike. Look at that. Look at that. Guys, we are coming along. It's just too big. We got a little trading view here. We got this. Well, this is happening a little quicker than I wanted it to. Yeah, I'm not sure about any of this right now. I can't migrate it. I don't want to do anything. What you see is not a test. Oh, actually, it is a test. I guess it makes more sense to make that one the display. It's just too big. And much too big. Okay. So it has to be this one. If I wanted to put me in the corner, I'm right there. How about this goes over here? Right? So let's say this is right here. And I want to bring up this. And I want to bring up this. Get rid of this. YouTube says I'm live, which is fucking awesome. Haven't been live in a while. Guys, we're going to get back to doing the format. We're going to do trades every day. I want to build a following. I've been watching other people trade in the morning, and it affects my trading. I'd rather just trade the way I trade. And by streaming, it will give me something else to do. So I'm stoked about that. It looks like all the big names are up pretty good. And we go over here to check it, make sure everything still looks good. All right, cool. All right, so waiting on a 5-minute orb to play out. We're going to get one here pretty soon. Let's get these set up. I'm a little behind today. Hey, Apple's giving us or Nvidia's giving us a nice little dumperooski. I told everybody after that news this weekend that everyone should get puts because that's what the market's been doing lately. Is well, maybe it's always been like this, where it just does the complete opposite of what you expect it to do. If you guys remember, about 8 months ago, Boeing planes were burning in the sky, literally catching fire, and their stock jumped up 5% for that week when like 3 different planes ignited. A couple days before and during that week. So it's a casino. They're literally just trying to steal as much money as they possibly can from people. So when you know the market's going to go one way, like when Trump pauses tariffs, what happened? The market kept going down. So and it will until everyone is stopped out, until everyone is over it, until no one's making money, and then it'll jump back up. That's the casino. That's why I call it a casino. It's exactly what a casino would do. All right, I really like Apple. We get really nice downward momentum here. If this continues with this volume, I'd love to get into that. That's crazy. It's exactly inside of the range that it was our. Oh wait, no. Okay, never mind. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, when this candle closes, we'll be about ready to make an entry. I don't like that reversal. Let's see if we can get something that's more definitive. We got lots of chop from all these other ones. I feel like Apple was the best one. Let's keep a look on Apple here. Is this the new candle? This is the new candle. So if we close outside of this orb, I will consider an entry. I usually wait for a confirmation candle, which sometimes sucks and you miss a lot of your money, but that confirmation candle is going to keep me out of losses. Guess what? I'd rather have less wins more often or less money made more often than losing more often and yeah, going the wrong way. Now, Monday has been so choppy for me lately, so that's why I'm just testing. I want to see how this works. All right, let's see if Apple keeps going. Let's go ahead and bring up the contract on Apple. Let's say it's going to keep going down. I go three strikes. Ooh, that is expensive. Well, with a $500 account, I wouldn't have enough to even play one of these, and that's the problem with playing on Mondays, right? So, um, just gonna keep coming through, see what everybody's doing. I'm checking it on my other screen. Amazon gave us a pretty cool, yeah, Amazon, AMZ, let's go there. Amazon, see, three strikes on a put. Yeah, same thing. So you'd be lucky to get one. But let's see if it's going to continue. We got a break outside. No, you guys can't see it. I can see it on my other screen. And it's continuing to flush. Um, let's see how this candle closes, and I'll consider an entry here. I've never done this on this before, so we'll see how it goes. I hate that I can't get 30 seconds on here. All right, that continued the trend. I don't like how weak that got at the end. I'm gonna wait for one more. There's also a news here. DA Davidson has reduced its price for Amazon to 280 to 230. I don't know how that's gonna affect anything. Let's go ahead and keep checking these other because we might be missing our move here. Nvidia is starting to move to the south side. Meta gave us a really clear Meta was the move. We missed a really clear crack on Meta. All right, all right. So Amazon is still going. Let's go ahead and grab Amazon. We're late on Amazon, guys. We should have grabbed it already. We'd be up. Let's see here. Trade. How do I trade this? No, I want to trade. There's usually says trade right here. What are you doing? Come on. No, it's going right now. I don't want to add it to the watch list. It said trade before. How come I can't trade? Trade. What's happening? Oh, it's starting to reverse. Finally. Good Lord. All right. That might have been the move, guys. I might have missed it for Monday. Let's see here. Microsoft is already not. No. Meta is starting to turn around. Meta's already done its full 100% move. Amazon, this candle looks weak. Hasn't done its 100% move yet, but we only got a little room left if I'm going to grab this thing. I don't love it. See, you guys just seen, I was going to grab this thing right here at like 470, 480. At that point, we only needed $50 and boom, we already got it. So I'm going to skip this trade today because this right here was the trade. We're already there. We already got our 10%. This was a 10% winner. I was just too slow to get into it. So let's see if we have any other opportunities like as they're happening. Apple still hasn't cracked. Here, I'll come back to this. Sorry. Apple still hasn't cracked. There we go. Nvidia is back inside the range. Amazon Not sure what's going to happen with that. Microsoft never left the range, nice and choppy. And you know, on a Monday, all my Mondays have been bad lately. All my Mondays have been choppy lately. So on a choppy Monday, we could have caught a little 10% win just now, and this one would have been way better. This meta crack would have been probably closer to 15 or maybe even 20%. So definitely that would have been fun. Yeah, but it's already done the 100% move. So we're not jumping in at this point. Too late. But yeah, this meta would have been great. You already got your 100%. We look for 100% orb. So right here when it started chopping is when I would have got out. Um, and you guys see what I mean. Here's your candle crack, and then here's your confirmation candle. And at that point, we already missed the whole move. But by doing those confirmation candles, it keeps me safe. I'd rather not play and not win than take a loss every single time. That's just the level that I'm at these days. Amazon is now finishing its move, so we still could have gotten some juice on that berry. Let's see what that came out to at the end. I'm curious. Let's see. It was, I want to say it was a put 170. It 175, I think it was. Oh my gosh. No, that's not it. Because we were at $4.80. Okay, hold on. Amazon put 170, I bet it was. Yeah. All right. So yeah, so we would have got in right here at 480, guys. It could be up $70 right now on a $500 trade. That's about 15%. That's super, super high. I mean, we're looking for 10% scalps, 7 to 11% scalps. So this right here was a definite winner today. We called it. We had it right. I was just a little late on my entry. And getting in it at, after it had already jumped up to here is where we were finally figuring out how to trade it. And I wasn't going to try to just bleed out, the last couple cents. I feel like the move had already been made. So now we're going to go ahead and just set up for our 15-minute orb. The candle or the options play is done. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Ooh, meta is still bleeding. Bloody, bloody. All right. So yeah, definitely that scalp, that opening range breakout would have worked. 10% per day, guys, 3 times a week with your pattern day trader. I swear you can triple your account every year. That's all you need. These scalps. No, 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 no. Sorry, that's the 10%. That's 10% a month. If you can average 50%, I think it comes out to like 40 or 50%, dude. Within 18 to 24 months, you'll be a millionaire. I don't care what you start with. Start with 500 bucks. Start with 1,000. You'll be a millionaire within 2 years if you can compound 40 to 50% a month. And 10% scalps, catching two a week, you know, I mean, you could be over that. You could be over 50%. I mean, it just really depends on how your win loss and how well you do. But I'm running this for a reason. You know, I'm gonna run that every morning, and then I'm gonna come back over here to the the 15-minute, and we're gonna see how the 15-minute does. Let's see here. We're gonna do 5 minute. Wait for this candle to close. We have our range. I feel like this could be a really good VWAP bounce area. When you get this action in the morning, it doesn't really indicate market, and that's why a lot of people wait for the initial balance. It doesn't really necessarily mean that the market's going to move one way or the other. Really, it just means this is what's happening in this part of the day, which just means mostly closing positions. If it ran up, you're probably going to have a bunch of calls that are dumping their calls and selling, which is going to create a little bit of volatility in the market, or the vice versa. If it dumped, you got all your puts that are wanting to take profit on both sides. You got people closing because they're losing so much and they don't want to lose anymore, and you got people who are taking profit. So both of those are a propellant, and I could definitely see if it could blow through. Obviously, it could blow through, but I could see this protecting itself and eventually rotating back to the high side. But hey, look what's happening as we're talking here. So just because I can see it, don't mean it's gonna happen. All right, I need to check my other position here. It's up 13 cents. I really don't give a shit about that. I'm hanging out with Lunar. No, not even worried about it. Okay. Sorry, I'm managing a position on this other side here. It's going to be a 15-minute orb break. There it is. Okay. All right. So our 15-minute orb has also been set up here. I don't know why. These are blue. I had my summer colors out the other day. Excuse me. This is my summertime sunset colors here. All right. Now we're getting our VWAP bounce that I was just trying to tell everybody was the most likely scenario at this point. And what was the point of this? Just to stop a bunch of people out. To be the casino that we know it is. You VWAP traders, man, you guys are having a good time. 60% of the time, it works every time. VWAP trader. I don't know. It's just back testing, man. When you look back at something, you can always see ways that you could have made money. But while you're in the middle of trading it, it's always a 50-50. Even this right here, where you're like, oh, look, we have a change of market structure. It seems to want to do higher highs and higher lows. Man, it don't effing matter. That's just going to get you trapped. You know, some of these candlestick patterns, they know what you're looking for. They know what you think you see and what you think you know your entry should be, and they'll dump it on you. So that's where the risk tolerance or the strict risk management comes in, because then you can make sure that on those times where they're going to screw you regardless, at least you're not going to lose a lot. At least you're losing a manageable size, something that you can easily get back. VWAP bounce played out. Now what do we get? We don't get it. We don't know. We don't know. We got a higher high, we got a higher low, but still, like, I feel like this is 50-50 territory. I might get me some Apex coming up here in the next week, because there's so much more scalping that I see and that I want to be a part of. I love MA crosses. Sometimes MA crosses bleed for 1,000 ticks, and I just want to be in on that. And I don't care if I only win 20% of my trades on that technique. I think it'll be a little higher than that, but I don't care. If the profitability is that high, then why not have one contract on some account somewhere just running that strategy? I love the MA crosses. When they work, they work. 60% of the time, they work every time. But I mean, that's everything in the market, so probably closer to 70 or 80%. But anyways, looks like we're gonna get. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right. So we go to a 3-minute candle on this one. We want to break outside of orb. Then we want to confirm that we're going to grab a half position at that point. Then if we come back and retest orb, we grab another half position. As far as the other half position, if it keeps going, I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. Should I add? Should I just take the half position win? Is that going to mess up my win loss over time? I have absolutely no idea. I'll tell you this: it came down, bounced up, came down, bounced up. If it keeps knocking on this door, it's going to bust on through. If it can't keep knocking on this door, we're rotating back to the high side. It's literally that simple. And guys, I do a lot of my technical analysis without a bunch of indicators. I personally think if it works for you, awesome. For me, I like a cleaner slate. I like it to look a little bit better. I even just now for you guys turned off the one other indicator that I have, which is the MA crosses. Um, if I lowered them a little bit to one, maybe they wouldn't be so hard on my eyes. I just feel like they're taking over. Let's see here. See if we can bring it down. that right. Wow, I wonder if there's a way to dial that in different. There's that. That's a little better. I like it. I like it. All right. Yellow one. Let's bring this one down a little bit. All right. Crosses don't have to be so thick. I'll see them. Oh, no. I won't see that. I will not see that. I want the crosses to be bigger. How's that look? That's terrible. How did they go from so big to so small? I'm so confused right now. Oh, because it probably does it based on the MAs too. Okay, no big deal. Whatever. I really don't care about the crosses. I'm actually going to set up an alert. I'd seen it the other day. I don't know how to do it now, but I want to add an alert. Can I get an alert? How did I do it the other day? I seen it. I know it's on here. Quick search? No. Was it on here? I swear it was. Yeah, I don't know. I seen one the other day though, and I don't think it was on TradingView. I swear it was on here. Maybe I was wrong. Yeah, I guess I was mistaken. Unless I do find it. But no, yeah, I thought there was a way to set up the alerts on here. That stinks. Because with TradingView, you have to pay for their like you have to give them a monthly membership fee. Then they also want you to pay for real-time quotes on futures. And I love TradingView, but how many different subscription services am I going to have, or how many different companies are going to be trying to get at my wallet these days? So I'll probably get another subscription at some point. I just don't have one right now. Just got kind of over it for a little while. Wow, QFin's up 10% today. So I figured out this amazing way to pick stocks long term. And of course, I'm just testing it because I don't have a lot of money to play anything long term right now. I'm still trying to grow small accounts, but um, the company tip ranks. Same thing. They want like $300 a year or something like that. You can't pay a monthly membership or a weekly membership or a daily membership. You have to pay for a whole year. You have to. The subscription models are disgusting. Like I'm disgusted by it. Anyway, tip ranks. If you go to their website and you go and look at the any company, you'll see on the left side it'll say AI review or AI analysis or something like that. And when you click it, within just a few seconds, you'll get a page that pops up and says, subscribe. You can't see this, and it grays out everything. But if you click refresh, you can actually see their AI score before that page pops up. For like 1 to 3 seconds, you can see the number that the AI has given this company. And it looks at everything. It looks at the financial reports, it looks at the technical analysis, it looks at everything, it looks at performance, it looks at everything, and it gives you a score. And the higher, when you see outperform and you see like 70 or more, you got a really good company and you got something that you can run a wheel strategy on. You got something that you can just hold long term. And ever since I found that and I added all those to this watch list, I mean, I get it. It's a green day and we're going to go back into a bullish market. So it's going to look, way better than maybe it would have if I just added them during a normal market condition. But still, like the fact that they are outperforming, the fact that they are great companies gives me really good confidence that even if they go down a bit, that they're going to recover. And that's what you're looking for in the wheel strategy. At the very least, you want the shares to try to break even or tread water in a certain range, so that way you don't have a situation like I have now, where the price of the stocks tanks so far that you're not even getting much in commission anymore, and you're just kind of waiting for the price to rebound. And it's almost the same as holding bags. Like the commission's so small, it's barely worth it, and then you keep coming down closer and closer with your strike price to try to get more premium. And now you're in that situation where you have to keep rolling out as the price keeps ascending. So, and those rollouts are just basically dead money that you're, going to have to wait that much longer to get the money that you would have got if you could have had a strike that was out of the money. So anyway, um, yeah, it's been a little bit rough. Uh, I got to be honest with you guys. I am not going to run the 15-minute orb strategy. I'm a momentum based trader. When I see stuff like this, when there's no real momentum, when it's not wanting to go a certain direction, when it hasn't made up its mind, I'm very wary of that. Even if right now, based on this MA cross, it finally does roll back and come down, I could still see these areas of chop that are going to be able to take you out and possibly just reverse and not be able to break, you know. So even if we come back down here and we finally chop, who's to say that this doesn't act like a magnet, just like the VWAP did, and send it the opposite direction again? So I just see a lot of chop here. This is an indication to me to not take the 15-minute orb strategy at all. And what I'll do is I'll wait for a 1 hour setup. I'll see if it breaks. We get a failed auction and it goes back inside the orb. I ride that for 50% of the orb. Or my stop loss is 25% of the orb. I'm back on the outside. But I wait for the confirmation candles. On the 1 hour, I do 5 minutes. So I wait for a second candle after it breaks. Once again, fucks up my entry. I make less money, but if that reversal candle comes, I'm not in. You know, everyone else is. Everyone else is getting stopped out, and I'm not even in the trade. I'm avoiding losing trades more often, so I would rather do that. All right, guys, that's about it for me. I got about 4 minutes. I know nobody's here because I'm just starting this thread or this stream again today. I'm gonna rock this for the first 30 minutes of every day. Right now, I'm working a crazy work schedule. Hopefully this week, actually, I'll be switching jobs and be able to work less and make more, and be here a little bit more often. So that would be cool, right? Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to start running these streams because, like I said, it gives me the ability to talk out my thought process and what I have going on for the day rather than what I've been doing is watching like TopStep TV or some other YouTube streamers, and what they're saying and what their analysis is gets into my head while I'm trading and affects my trading. So there'll be days where I'm like, oh, well, he said he's not going to trade, so maybe I should be careful too. And I'll either size down or I will not take the trade, and next thing you know, I would have won. And that win matters when you look at a long term scale of, whether or not I'm going to be profitable doing this. I have to realize all of the wins that I would realize as much as I can and get the full amount that I'm supposed to win out of them. If I cut my wins short or if I start not taking wins, that's going to affect my overall P&L for the year. That makes sense, right? So, just looking over at my other stuff I got going on here. Oh, I didn't even look at this morning. So there's really nothing going on. You got a Fed speaker. But yeah, this week's pretty quiet until Wednesday and Thursday, I guess. Thursday's been a really good day for me lately. Hopefully this gas report doesn't mess with me anyway in any way because Thursday's been really good money for me lately. I've been pretty consistent. As a matter of fact, here we can look at my chart or my performance. I went back and I looked and I was like, Thursdays are always, I have five green Thursdays in a row. And then with Fridays, I haven't been trading them, and I went back and back tested and decided that I can start playing Fridays, stop being afraid of Fridays. I'm just going to take a smaller position because I don't win as much, but there's still money to be made, at least on the 1 hour failed auction strategy, which is the most ticks that I get. So that's one I really want to play. We'll notice on Mondays, pretty much all the Mondays, uh, I've taken losses. I literally every Monday. So today was a day where I was willing to trade if I seen a setup, but I was going to go in with a light position size because I've decided both Monday and Friday, being as volatile as they have been lately, that's just the smart way to play them. I'm going to take lighter position sizes, and you'll see Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are the bulk of my green days. You know what I mean? So I need to really focus on hammering these days away. And a lot of the previous things like this Monday, the 31st, stuff like this isn't going to happen anymore. That's where that confirmation candle rule came from, because I went back and looked at these losing days. And if I had just stuck to that confirmation candle rule, I would have had clear indication to not take those trades and to not lose anything. This was three trades, three big trades on Monday that I lost me a lot of hard work, good trades, good progress that I made. This right here just really smacked me in the face. And when I went back and looked and seen that all three of those trades had clear indication to not take those trades, that really set into me was like, okay, these are my new rules and this is the way it's going to be moving forward, period. Because if you can't learn from your losing days, what's the point of having them, right? All right, guys. So like I said, I'm going to do this every morning for 30 days, for 30 minutes at the opening bell. I'm going to jump in. I drive from my house to my office to trade. Lately, I've been driving back earlier to try to get a head start on working in the afternoon. So that's why I'm leaving now. And then I'll just set up the 10:30 trade at my house and see if I can't get into it. That being said, there will be a time in the near future where like I said, I'll be working a different job and I will not be pressed like this, and I'll be able to stream for a little bit longer, and I'll be able to show you guys that 1 hour initial balance trade, which is able to make you so much money. When you see my biggest gains here, which is the $1,300, and then just the other day, um, well, I think it was only $400, but it had potential to be a lot more if I had taken another trade. I think I locked myself out, but the 1 hour would have played out too, and that also would have been like $1,000 for $1,500 day. Anyway, those bigger gains are coming from the 1 hour failed auction. So I want to go ahead and show everybody that. But like I said, none of you guys are even watching right now, so it doesn't even matter. I'm just doing this for myself. I want to get used to this. I want to get warmed up. I will start posting on Twitter and build the community, and we will make lots and lots of money together. I can promise you that. Okay, so stay. Oh. And most importantly, I will never, ever charge anybody anything ever uh, for education or anything like that. The only thing I can ever imagine charging a subscription fee for it would just be a notification service for people who just have absolutely no time to learn, absolutely no time to trade. They're at work. They'll see the notification, hey, buy this or hey, sell this, and they can manage their portfolios that way. It'll be a very small percentage of the people who are here, who are watching, who will need that sort of service. But for those type of people, I guess it kind of makes sense to do all of the work for them. Basically, then you would ask for just a little bit of a you know not contribution, a little bit of just to get some sort of can't think of the word I want to use. Compensation. Hey, there it is. Yeah, so you want some sort of compensation for the extra work that you're doing for those people. But for anyone who's just going to be here while I'm trading and watch me while I'm clicking buttons on a screen, I can't imagine charging somebody for that. That's ridiculous. So, guys, I want to thank you very much for watching. I'm nothing special. I'm not a guru. I'm not selling anything, but I have figured out at least a handful of strategies that are consistent as shit, and I am now working with close to a 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio, and that allows me to gain more profitability even when my trades are closer to a 50-50. So let me know if there's anything you guys need from me. I am out for the day. Wish all of you a very happy week trading. I hope you make lots and lots of monies. Don't forget to lock out when you're in profit. Don't let the market steal it back. Everybody have a good night.